You see FaZe got backing from DraftKings. You're talking about, God, what's that FaZe subsidiary they just announced? What is it called? GameSquare launches... Oh, FaZe Media. That's what it is. Yeah, you're talking about this, right? It was GameSquare and DraftKings that own all of it. I don't really know what's going on with FaZe, but goddamn. So 51% of FaZe Media is owned by GameSquare, and the remaining 49% is going to Matt Kalish from DraftKings. Hey, good luck. I hope it goes well, Kamal. Hope everything's perfect, and I hope it all goes smooth. Is FaZe Media separate from FaZe Clan? I think so, based on what I saw. Like, the very little bits and pieces I saw, it's totally separate, but what a bad sign. If immediately you spin off FaZe Clan into this and it's not even owned by the FaZe Clan board, it's owned by GameSquare and DraftKings, like, that seems like such a terrible, terrible thing. Banks know how to make money from gambling. Everyone knows how to make money from gambling as long as you're not a gambler yourself. If you are the one giving the gamblers the ability to gamble, you can't lose. It is the most surefire moneymaker in the world right now. Anything gambling adjacent, even. It's fucking wild how effective it is. Congrats on the graduation, Camden. You gonna get the new NCAA game? I'll definitely try it. That's one I actually will try. I used to love the NCAA games. Getting my first tattoo on Friday. What on the forearm? What's the pain scale for it? Forearm's like a 4. That's nothing. And sure, I'll look up the FurryCon stuff. The only thing I see about FurryCon news is from 4 days ago about it having a record-shattering year-to-year growth. I don't see the bomb threat that was called in. That's the most painful spot for a tattoo. For me, it's the chest. So, like, my chest piece was by far the most painful. That shit had me, like, trimmering on the table. I probably looked like I was getting fucked by a ghost. Like, I couldn't sit still. I was convulsing. Being on the sternum was crazy. What are your thoughts on the new Acolyte Star Wars movie and the whip saber? Brother, I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. I'm not excited for it. Maybe I'll check it out. Probably won't. I just don't care. Star Wars is so fucking watered down now. I just couldn't give a... Like, I actually couldn't give any less of a shit about Star Wars. It was the Motor City FurryCon. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, well this is a month ago. Why are you bringing this up now? Apparently they got it solved. And this was the second year in a row that someone called in a bomb threat to the FurryCon. Terrence Howard was on the latest Rogan. I saw the clips. Man, it's so fucking sad how fast humanity's deteriorating. Terrence Howard was the butt of so many jokes like 5 years ago when he was talking about his new math and when he was going around trying to scam people for his like fucking drone project or whatever. And now I saw the Terrence Howard clips make it on Twitter and they're like, Terrence Howard just blew it wide open. Our understanding of physics is wrong. Keep in mind, this is the guy that's been going on this world tour for the last decade about 1 × 1 = 2. And why we're all wrong for believing otherwise. About our fundamental understanding of math being wrong. And now, with the state of the world, I saw so many people on Twitter being like, Terrence Howard's finally revealing the truth that fucking woke media is trying to keep hidden from us. Fucking woke science. Oh yeah, and I forgot. He talks about being able to remember his own birth. And he disproved gravity. Man, these ads are unbelievable right now. These ads are insano style. Bro lost his Marvel gig and went insane. Yeah. Yeah. It's been here. He's been doing this for so long. But now people are believing him. Like, I saw the comments talking about how he's actually a genius and people aren't ready to accept this truth. It's so cringe. It's so cringe. Joe giving him a platform doesn't help. Well, Terrence Howard has always had a platform. I don't think that matters that much. I didn't watch the whole Rogan episode, but I also don't think Rogan's the kind of host that would actually push back against any of this shit, so he's probably like, oh, wow. So gravity's not real? Huh. Imagine that. Wait, what is this? The next sensationalist claim from Howard, who famously faced flack for past arrests for alleged domestic abuse during the height of the Me Too movement. They just kind of slid that in out of nowhere. I didn't know that. But yeah, here's where him talking about metaphysics and how gravity is a construct of electricity and God. We're about to kill gravity, he declared. We're about to kill their God, gravity, and they don't want that. Brother, no one is praying to gravity. He lives in his own fantasy. Oh yeah, I made a video on that, Crusader. That was a great video. The Seattle Samurai, the video that explained it initially. That's awful, Dragon. Yeah, I gotta look into that. My dad is one of those who believes him. It sucks listening about it. It's just believing because you want to believe. Right now, there's like this prevailing thought process of when everyone's laughing at something, it means that whatever they're laughing at is the truth. So like the most fringe shit ever. Everyone's insulting this person or everyone's saying this person is wrong, which means they're actually right. It's just, that's how it works right now. So like, here's a really good example. P. Diddy. P. Diddy was getting so many defenders because everyone was attacking P. Diddy. So people naturally are like, oh, if he's getting attacked, that must mean that he's in the right. It's fucking cringe, man. Gravity is always seeking a higher pressure condition. At one point producing a video from a business partner in which linchpins were used to create Saturn without gravity. It spins northeast and is trying to get to the center of the area, the center of the cone, but the next electric wave is coming, so it gets pushed out. And as it's pushed out, instead of it spinning northeasterly, centripetally, it's forced to spin centrifugally, and it spins southwesterly, and it expands itself out. By God. By Job, he's done it. Does he have a degree in anything, or is he just browsing Reddit? Thanks for some gum leaf. He claims that he was like a PhD mathematician, but was too smart for the university or something like that. Let me look it up again. It's been a while. Because he started his own math called teriology. Or, no, not teriology. The fuck did he call it? Actually, I think he did call it teriology. Yeah, no, it is. It is. Yeah, teriology. That's what it was. 2015 interview with Rolling Stone, Howard explained that he had formulated his own language of logic, which he called teriology, in which he was keeping a secret until he had patented it. The logic language, he claimed, would be able to prove the statement 1 times 1 equals 2. How can it equal 1? Father Justin on Joe Rogan would go crazy. Kind of feel bad for him. Why? He's rich, famous, and people still defend the lunacy. It's nothing to feel bad about. He needs those building blocks they give you in elementary to count it out for himself. We're really going back in time. So back when he was still a laughingstock, before everyone's brains started to rot, that was something people tried to show him. They literally gave him tangible objects, so that way he could see with his own fucking peepers that 1 times 1 is 1. But he refused to accept it. Those blocks were controlled by the media. Yeah. Thanks for the resub. Chowcore and Bot. What are you referring to, Kiki? Oh yeah. I think you're right, Hydra. That's what it was. He said he was studying chemical engineering at Pratt University and dropped out after he had an argument with a professor that 1 times 1 equals 2. Yeah, this is something he's held on to for, like, most of his fucking life. And yeah, I probably will, Jake. Remember, we used to think the Earth was the center of the universe. I see a lot of people go with that defense. Well, maybe he's just seeing 100 years in the future with this kind of stuff. We used to think the earth was flat. That's such a dog shit argument when it comes to this shit, because it is provably something a child could do. 1 times 1 under no circumstances and no understanding of anything will never equal 2. Like, you don't even have to be educated. Things a tier 1 Belushi. That is something that will legitimately, under no circumstances, no matter how much the world and universe change, will ever be true. 1 times 1 equaling 2. It can't happen. It's impossible to happen. Thanks, membership, Zeltroid. You see the Terrence Howard interview during the Emmys? It was so weird. Yeah, that's pretty old. I went down the entire teriology rabbit hole quite a few years ago. I made a video on it. He's also the guy that tried to sell, I think it was Uganda, these completely fraudulent... Here. I don't know why we're going down this again. This guy's been a scam artist and an absolute pseudo-intellectual loser for a super fucking long time, but now, just with the way the internet is, people are just accepting all of his lunacy as the truth. But this is the same guy that tried to sell, I'm pretty sure it was Uganda, these drones. Yeah, using the hydrogen technology drones.
You know, I was born Terrence Deshaun Howard. I've become an actor. You know, I've been nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes and SAG Awards. But those weren't the things that really moved me. As a child, I studied chemical engineering at Pratt Institute. Was there for 2 years until I saw that there was an inconsistency with the math there. And so I went out to explore a new way of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it into geometry. And then with that geometry, I was able to put props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. We have all the funding necessary. What we need is just a fertile ground in which to build this. Now, this is the geometry of...
Here, I'll skip ahead a little bit. Oh, this isn't where he shows the model. He shows a model of his sacred geometry that he's referring to here. It's so fucking laughable. And people just don't remember this now, I guess. So they're just like, Terrence Howard, he's a genius. He's a fucking genius. Thanks, membership, Jack. He did it on the live show. Oh, that's what it was. He did it on The View, didn't he? And they laughed at him. I think it was The View. Yeah.
What's that?
Well, I'm going to talk about this since we're here. This is the proof that the square root of 2 is a rational number.
Yes.
Now, this is the point where 4 bubbles meet equally and oppositely. Yes. And it's where 12 planes meet. This is an undiscovered geometry that I'm now making known to the world here on the show.
Whoa, he did it! I can't. He's seen it. The third eye. The third eye. Doesn't he put propellers in it? I already forgot. I don't remember where he puts the fucking propellers. Oh my god, I'm sorry to hear that, Allie. That's awful. I think I drew that in 2nd grade. Well, fuck, man, you should have patented it. I need to know what he's smoking. The thing is, though, like, the problem is people believe it. They trust it. Because people, like I said, when something is ridiculed, when something is, like, provably, demonstrably, categorically proven to be false, for some reason, that convinces people that it's real. Like these really unhinged people that just truly want to be different. They'll be like, okay, that must mean that guy's right. That must mean that this is something I should support because it's getting attacked and it's getting proven wrong. That must be the truth. So there's so many people that believe it now. Are we sure he's not just fucking with us? No, man. Terrence Howard, that guy's in deep. He's got teriology. He gave up his entire acting career to pursue full-time teriology. Nah, that guy's in. He's like, he's really ingrained in it. That's sad goodness, yeah. Does he really call it teriology? Yeah, he calls it teriology. That's the actual name of it. His logic language.